What, tweeters and tipsters? Here we go. Time to go live. Little intro video for you. Let's go. All right, tipsters. All right, let's go. Hey guys, a big guy, big kid on this one. My boy Johnathan Abram out of Mississippi State. Let me give you a little background on the kid. Was a dual threat quarterback coming out of high school. Went to Georgia straight out of high school. Had a pretty good year. 25 tackles, played in 4 games. Or started 4 games technically. Played pretty well. But when Greg Pruitt left, went to Alabama, he decided that he was going to leave as well. He then went to JUCO down in Mississippi, where he's from. Became the #1 JUCO safety in the country. Then went to the University of Mississippi State, which in that aspect he went utterly bonkers. Catching draft scouts were really impressed with him. His junior season, big year, sorry. So his junior season, he had 71 total tackles, 43 solo tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. His senior season was even better. You know, for a safety, having 99 total tackles, 53 solo tackles, 9 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks. Dude, that's a monster season from a kid who played quarterback in high school. Now, don't get me wrong, he played safety in high school too, but to be this athletic and to show out the way he has, you know, ran a 4.4 40 at the combine. Just a really big downhill player. Comes at you hard. Seems like he just has a nose, you know, a knack for the ball to go after it. If you see me kind of drift away a little bit, the U.S. Open's on, so my man Tiger's playing. Let's go, Tiger. Back to Johnathan Abram. I think he's in a perfect spot. Sitting next to Carl Joseph in their scheme, you're not going to see a free safety, strong safety. That's not how their defensive coordinator plays it. You can even get an interview from Abram. You're a defensive back. You'll cover a tight end. You'll cover, you know, you'll play free. You'll play strong. You know, and even though it's a very senior group, I think there's enough up front to really cause some havoc and to really help Joseph and Abram have big years. He's already playing with the ones. He's starting, going to be with the ones. I expect a big year out of him. What I see out of the kid, I can actually see a top 15 safety out of this kid. Dead honest with you. Just on where his position is, how in that conference they like to attack a little deep. You'll see in a spot where he's going to get a chance to make big plays. You know, he's got a good vertical. You know, he's 6 foot, 200 pounds. He can lay the wood, and he's not scared to hit you. And obviously, any player who has 9 tackles for 9 tackles for loss and 3 sacks is willing to come up and come at you. Now, I'm a little worried about him checking in the backfield some, but I think he'll figure that out through training camp, and he'll back off, and you'll see him play really well. And so we'll talk about player comparisons, and my one with him is a guy who's really high in our entire group. You know, a player that we're high on at the tipsters, and I think most of you guys are going to be high on. I don't want to get you guys too pumped. I did have a question from a tipster. Do I see him making the same leap as Justin Reed? If you were with me last week, or you were on our podcast on Sunday Live, I talked about Justin Reed. I'm very high on Justin Reed, and Justin Reed had a lot around him with Kareem Jackson, Tyrann Mathieu, and he still had a big year. I think he's going to have an even bigger year this year. This isn't my pro comparison, but you want to talk about a spot where a kid is going to be in a good opportunity to make a good play for him. For me, I can see him having a big year like Justin Reed did his rookie season as well. All right, without further ado, let's get to my guy who I think he compares to, Keanu Neal. Very similar in stature. Keanu's had a pretty good career. Obviously got injured last year, first game of the season, which sucks for everybody because he's such a big player. You know, we're talking about a guy who had 81 total or solo tackles the year before, 113 combined tackles. Do I expect him to have a Keanu Neal year? No. But Keanu Neal's in my top 3 of players in the league when it comes to safeties. And some people, he's even ahead of Landon Collins. We'll see what happens there. I really like Keanu Neal. But when you want to talk about comparisons, they're two very comparable players. You know, both SEC kids, one from Florida. Size-wise, 6'1", 215, 6 foot, 205 to 210, and Abram. I see a lot of comparisons out too. The speed-wise the same. How they both come downhill. They're both ball hawks. They both come at players pretty hard. I really like this kid. It's hard for me sometimes to put safeties this high on the board, but he's in a good position, guys, and he's a guy that you should target in general, especially if you're in a defensive back-driven league. Then I would say go after him. You know, huge fan of Johnathan Abram, and I think you should be too. Well, that's pretty much all we got today, guys. I've got one I'm going to come out with tomorrow, and then I'll probably come out with one on Saturday that'll put us at 7 or 6. I might even give you a 2-fer. We'll see. Either way, we're gonna be inside the top 5 come Monday or Tuesday. So please follow us, www.theidbtipster.com. Check us out. Check my guys out, Tipster. Check all the guys out that retweet. You know, we've got some good guys. The fantasy football group takes care of each other, and I expect you to take care of them as well as us. And remember, let's go, let's go, let's go!